Everyone says they want to grow their business, more revenue, more clients, more freedom. When you actually look at what most people are doing day to day, it doesn't always line up because growth requires things that, if we're really honest, most people are actively avoiding. So I've been sitting with this question, Nicole. Do you actually want growth or do you just like the idea of it?
And that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you even know what growth you want?
And I mean, in with what you do as a processor, do you see that like when somebody comes to you and what they're saying and what they're doing is a mismatch?
Often, yes.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it comes to growth. I feel like that's been a big topic, at least from what I've been seeing online and stuff like that. People want to grow their businesses, people want to grow themselves. But I'm not really understanding how that happens.
Well, I guess the biggest thing is, do you know? The first question is, do you know what you want?
Mm-hmm.
Because most people today have no idea what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So they tell you they want more, but more of what?
Yep.
Or they'll say a lot of money, or they can't actually tell you, well, if you have a lot of money, what are you going to do with it?
Fair enough.
And then what do they need to do in order to grow? So because they don't know what they want, they talk a lot about growing and changing and shifting. But what exactly are you growing and shifting and changing?
So, in terms of what people want, right? Is that a, do you think it's a conscious or subconscious thing, like knowing what you really want? Because I can tell you what I want. You ask me very quickly. If you just ask me randomly what do you want, I can tell you.
What do you want?
More money. You know what I mean? Look, so that
But what does that mean?
100%. So that's what I mean with the
More money for what? Do you want more money to invest? Do you want more money to spend? Do you want more
small
money
money
to
in
grow
my
your
bank account.
again?
Just to look at it.
Just to look at
Just to look at
it.
it.
See, but I guess that's a fair enough goal.
Yeah.
So if you want money in your bank account just to look at it, how much money do you want in your bank account?
Mm. So do you think that, okay, I know you're asking me the question, but I want to flip this for business owners because I think that that's such a key one, right? Most business owners want to have more money.
But the biggest thing is, do they actually want more money,
Mm-hmm.
or do they want something else?
What do you mean?
Or what is the money going to give them?
I would probably assume it would give me a little bit more breathing room. So if and I'm just let me just I'm gonna role play as the business owner for example yet again. But if I can have, let's just say, 6 months worth of overheads covered,
Mm-hmm.
it would create that little bit of a pressure release, for example.
And then what are you going to do?
I'm gonna have a pressure release.
And
This is legit the way that, based on what I'm seeing online and what people are speaking, this is what it is.
and this is where it is like the average person doesn't know what they want. Okay, so for example, if do you want to grow your sales?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So what does that mean? Okay, you need to employ a sales rep.
Cool.
Okay. The average sales rep is not going to generate any money for your business for 6 months.
So we're saying average. We're not talking about the rock star. So
No, we're not talking about rock stars or things like that. But we're saying the average sales rep.
Yeah.
It'll be 6 months because they've got to learn the product, they've got to learn their customers, they've got to, get to know things. So it'll be 6 months before they do anything.
Cool.
Okay. Do you have enough money to pay somebody to work for you for nothing for 6 months?
It's a good question to ask yourself first and foremost. Right.
And that's where, as a business owner, are you clear on what you want and then what you need in order to get that want? And yes, that's maybe an exaggeration of a sales rep and that they take 6 months. But what we know is when you employ new people, they have to understand, they have to come into your business, they have to learn about your business, they have to learn about your processes, your systems, those kind of things. Mm-hmm. And then they have to actually start doing something, and then somebody's got to babysit them for a little bit. And that's the other question, is that you want a new sales rep who's going to teach them?
Great question.
And so if you want to grow your sales, are you clear on what you need to do in order to grow your sales?
I think that that's such a good question and something that most business owners don't think about, right? Especially smaller to mid-sized businesses. I'm going to hire a sales rep because your CV told me that you can sell because you sold before. I'm not thinking about what you just said, that 6-month period of nothing coming in. I feel like that's also quite a realistic way to operate.
Correct, because if they do anything before that, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that they would do something before that, but we also know that people are people, and some recs are going to do nothing and other recs will do something. So it's just, are you clear and have you planned for both? That they may make a sale in their first month, that they may make no sales in their first 6 months. What is the expectation? And so it's just understanding that. Now, and obviously it's industry dependent because, I guess in the car industry, they have targets and things like that. And 6 months ain't going to cut it. Be somebody. But that's where, are you reducing their basic and increasing their commission so that you are planning for it? There are ways to get around it.
Yeah, I see.
But that's where most people are not clear on what they want. They just go, well, we need to increase our sales, so hire another sales rep.
Yeah. Which actually takes more money away from you than adds more money to you.
In the short term,
In the short term, yeah. And you're hoping that the person's actually going to be a success because their CV told you that they've been a successful sales rep.
Absolutely. And then it's having that awareness of what is that going to give you?
Okay. So it's going to give me, so the hope is that it's going to give me more sales, which means.
Okay. Is it going to give you net profit, gross profit? What are you looking in terms of your business? What are you looking to increase?
Yeah, you're asking tricky. I'm looking to increase my money. And I like that we're going down this path because I feel like this is how a good majority of business owners, small business owners, operate. And this is just based off what we've seen just in our world. These are like practical examples, right? People aren't thinking about gross profit, net profit,
cost of
sales. What are you talking about? Cost of sales.
Marketing.
No, I don't.
Budgets.
Telling me about budget. No, I just want to hire a sales rep. They're going to make more sales. They're going to make sales, and I'm going to make more money, and it's going to be a good business.
And unfortunately, that is the way the world has been taught that things work, but it doesn't work like that. And so if we go back to growth, what does growth require? Growth actually requires learning. You need to be willing to learn.
So this is my next question. And it was something that Barry said on our podcast is, as a business owner, the first thing that you've got to start with is yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. Start with fixing yourself and where you're at, right? So for you, how important is that as a business owner? Most business owners want growth. I don't think we've ever had any business owners say, no, I don't want more growth. Like that's usually related to money. But growth as a individual and as a being, as a business owner, what do I need to do? What is that? What does it require from me?
Well, so if you think about it, there's we look at be, do, have.
Yep.
So who are you being? What are you doing? And what do you want? What are you having? So, and when people often, they don't go, who am I being in order to do?
No, that doesn't make, why would I need to be anybody?
So if I look at, we've implemented traction in our business.
Yes.
And one of the things that, in terms of implementing traction, there's some systems and processes we've had to learn. There's different things we need to do. And suddenly we have to do different things.
Very much so. Very different to just rocking up, doing what you want. It's very uncomfortable.
It is very uncomfortable. And so one of the challenges is, are you willing to learn and grow through that process of, implementing a new system? So for us, we've implemented traction. All of us have had to learn.
2 years. 2 years.
And it's fascinating because Gino Wickman says it's going to take you 2 years before you actually start understanding what you're doing. And I mean, it has. It's taken us 2 years, and we still don't. There's a lot of things we still don't get right. And we're still learning and things like that. But it's just having these ahas and realizations that we need to do things differently. So in order to do it differently, I have to be willing to change and learn.
Yeah.
So I'll use an example of one of my clients that I work with. I often send her information on Google Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, it was very clear. Do you know how to use Google Drive? Yes, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I'll get a message to say, I can't access the file. It's gone. I can't find it.
Oh.
So it's like, okay, well, you can use the link. Well, I don't have the link. I can't find it. Where? And there's this absolute panic. And then it's like, can I show you how to find it on Google? Because if you don't have time to scroll through your emails to find the link that I sent you 6 months ago, can I show you? No, I know how to do it.
Oh. Okay.
And that's where it's like, how many of you are going, I know that.
Especially as the business owner.
Especially as the business owner, but not even
everybody. Normal people. Yeah.
Like, do you know how to use, like, I don't know, work out a formula in Excel? Yeah, I know how to do that.
I'm so glad you've never asked me that question.
Because the formula that you may know how to do is very different to the formula that I'm trying to get you to do.
Yes.
Instead of saying, okay, show me.
Let me learn how to do the thing that you want me to do.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's such a, like, it is, school has taught you that 1 + 1 = 2.
Yes.
And 2 + 2 = 4. And there is a way to write it. And there is a way that the teacher needs it written. And there's a way you do it in your exam.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Nothing more.
And that's where this mindset comes from, as people go, I know that. Because, of course, I did a course on it. Like,
yes.
And I know that. Instead of being willing to learn and say, can you show me?
It's an important one. Yeah.
And that's where a lot of times growth comes from, is being willing, even if you know it, just say, cool, show me.
Hey, I might learn a shorter way of doing it. Something takes me less time.
Correct.
So would you say that that's one of the things, like, for example, business owners are avoiding? Like learning, and not just learning from others, because I feel like there's this notion that if I'm a business owner, I'm a leader, right? But also
I'm expected to know it all.
Yes.
So, and that's where school is, the school system, you are expected to know everything.
Yeah, because you got the textbook.
Because you got the textbook and you need to write it down.
And you came to the classes.
So you should know everything.
Because you were present.
Some of us were.
Yeah, no.
But the challenge is that, and I use this example of, you get a picture of a whale on your phone, and you see this beautiful picture of this whale. And when you get in the sea and you're on a surfboard and a whale pops up next to you, suddenly you realize that you did not learn
I did learn it.
How big a whale actually is, even though they told you it was the size of the house.
The circumference of my phone is very different to real life.
And that's where in business it's the same thing. So
yeah.
You will learn in a textbook how to balance, as an accountant, how to balance an account. But when it comes to real life and a business owner is going, no, but I have to move this and I have to do that. And the tax man's asked me for this and I need to do this. And suddenly there's 10 different ways to do it. And you're trying to go, It's a bit like standing on the surfboard next to the whale, because suddenly you're going, oh, this is very different.
Yes. It's a brand new ball game. Nobody told me this. So,
so it is. It's important to just be aware of, we don't know everything. We haven't been taught everything. And the way the world is evolving with technology and AI and all of these things, There are so many things that you can learn all the time.
Non-stop. So do you think that we're in this space, especially when it comes to growth, that we're utilizing being busy as saying that it's part of my growth? I don't know if that question makes sense.
Well, I'd ask you the question, how many people have read a book recently, a personal development book?
I'm guessing a few. I would say a lot of people. These personal development books sell. They do
Yes.
numbers.
Yeah, but how many people actually read them?
What do you mean read?
People buy them, but they don't read them.
Oh, no, fair enough. They don't read. I mean, I would also say they don't read them to completion. They pick and choose the parts that are.
But that's okay. But if you take the average person today, when we look at, if you go into, Barry will go into a company and do some sales training, and he'll ask the question, how many of you have read a personal development book in the last year?
Oh, and I can actually, if I remember correctly from Sales Explosion, right? The last Sales Explosion that we had, there was just 27 people in the room. He did ask that question. I think three people put their hands up out of the 27.
Correct.
That have read a personal development book in the last year.
Okay. Now, going back to your question, I would ask the average person, why haven't you read a personal development book? No, I'm too busy. I don't have time to read.
There.
Reading takes up lots of time.
Too much time.
Okay, well, do you sit on the toilet for 15 minutes a day? Can you read a book for 15 minutes instead of playing games on your phone?
Yeah, but then I'm not going to get to the next level of Candy Crush. We joke, but right, these are it's almost as if people are living in this world where these are the choices, right? Either get to the next level of Candy Crush. And then
I've been so stressed. I need Candy Crush.
I need to relax.
To relax. It helps me relax.
Yeah, because my staff is crazy. My suppliers aren't supplying. I just need to. Running a business is a lot of pressure. I need to de-stress, and that's why I play Candy Crush. Reading a book is just going to make me more stressed because I'm not doing what this guy is saying.
I'm also not going to focus. I'm not going to be able to focus on what I'm reading because I'm so stressed.
That's a big one. I know I've used that for sure. I love that one.
But here's the thing. Reading a book is not about reading the book. It's about what's the one line that you can take away that you can implement today.
That's a great one.
And people think they need to read the whole chapter and they have to read the whole book in order to, get the bigger picture and understand it. And what's one line?
It's small steps to growth, right?
Correct.
And I mean, I think it's something that you've said a lot of, like, you've said it on the podcast, you've said it to me face to face, you've said it a lot, is if you, for example, read one paragraph of a sentence. So you haven't read a book in a year, but you read one paragraph of a book. That's way more than you did in the past year. And that's a big win. And that helps towards your growth.
Correct. So what can you do? And the other challenge with like reading and growth is that the average person is terrified of finding out how much they don't know.
How much they don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
So if I don't know that, I don't know, there's a better way to
run my books. There's a simple way to run my books.
So, well, people are terrified to find out that that is a possibility because then everybody will know I've been doing it wrong.
Oh, my team will know I've been doing it wrong.
Yes.
My team.
I don't want people to know that I've been wasting time. I don't want people to know that I'm not very good at that. And it sounds silly, but that's what school teaches you because it's wrong to make mistakes.
It's wrong to not know.
And it's wrong to not know. So people have this, I know that. And then you actually look at it and you go, if you actually knew what you're saying you'd realize how much you don't know.
And I feel like people miss the massive impact that type of conditioning in terms of school had on how they operate as leaders, as whatever. It's sometimes you even see Well, I just feel like people misunderstand conditioning, right? And how much that actually impacts you. So just to give you an example, veer off, but it's gonna apply. I was listening to the radio yesterday and they were talking about rules that your parents had for you when you were younger that made no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the people called in, said the rule, and said, I have that rule in my house today. It still doesn't make sense to them. So the one was if I'm, as a mother, if I'm cold and I put on a jersey, everybody in my house is putting on a jersey. And I was like, it's just conditioning, but we don't realize the power of it. And we don't actually question it, right? Because it's like, that's how things are. So you do the same thing as a business owner where you're like, yeah, I don't want to be wrong because school showed me that I've got to know.
But also, my dad did this in his business, so I need to do it in my business.
Yeah.
And like our news, like there's a number of programs we've always done in our business. And, this year we made a decision to stop doing some of those programs. And everyone's like, oh, you can't do that.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
But the reality of it is that those programs are costing us money.
Mm.
And if we keep doing those programs, we're going to go out of business because they cost us a lot of money.
Yeah.
But instinctively, everybody in the business goes, what are we going to do? We've always done that.
Always. For as long as I've been here. For as long as I've known you guys, actually, not even that I've been in this, for as long as I have known you guys, you've always done this program.
And everybody's going, why aren't you doing it?
Mm.
It's like, well, the program costs us money. If we keep losing money on a program.
I think, and that's the other side of it, right? It's also understanding the importance of knowing the numbers in your business. Sitting down and actually looking at it and going, well, this thing is not even breaking even. It's bleeding. So why do we continue doing it? And I feel like a lot of business owners do that, right? They have this product that they've had. Like you said, you mentioned I took over my dad's business. So my dad's always had this product. Why am I going to stop selling? We've always had it. But you're not looking at the numbers and going, well, this product is actually costing us more money to sell than it is making us money. But that's because people don't look at their numbers.
Because they don't know what they're looking at.
Or they don't know what they're looking for.
Correct. Because they were never taught properly. I mean, most entrepreneurs and business owners that come out of school were not taught how to read a financial statement.
No.
Or a balance sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Or a profit and loss.
No.
Unless they did accounting. And even then, they weren't taught all those things. No. And that's where things like the cash flow game become so important, because it's not about playing a game. It's about learning how to read a financial statement. Mm. And do you understand assets and liabilities? Do you understand income, expenses? And then once you start breaking it down even further, like your cost of sales and things like that, gross profit, net profit, all of those kind of things. But the average person today has not been taught those things.
Mm. They don't understand it.
Correct.
And that's, yeah, I mean, I was just thinking now in one of Barry's clients, because he was running through the numbers and he was talking about how it's such a small product in terms of in the grand scheme of their business. It's a tiny product, but the amount of theft of this product, I think it amounts to about $10 million a year that gets lost. But he's only able to pick that up because he's looking at the numbers, right? He's seeing it and understanding it and going, okay, cool, this is where we're bleeding money. But most people don't. Most business owners are not looking at their numbers like that.
Yeah, or they don't have an understanding of what the numbers mean or those kind of things. And that's where it's so important to have the right people around you so that they can tell you need to learn this. And I guess a lot of business owners today kind of just go into, well, I need to do a financial literacy course, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. And they're not clear on what it is that they actually need. So, like in our business, one of the things, we don't need to learn more. We need to do more. Mm. And what does that mean is we need to follow the process. We have processes.
Yes.
Are they being followed?
Yeah.
And it's one of the challenges in a small business is because people learn the process and then it's easy and they just do stuff.
Just, yeah.
And then you suddenly go, there's a problem here. And, well, what's the problem? I don't know. Well, where's your timesheet? Well, I don't have one. Well, what do you mean you don't have one?
Part of the process.
But it's part of the process. Yeah, but I did that, for a couple of months and I don't need it anymore.
Yeah, I know how to do it now.
I know how to do it and I don't really need it. It's not really applicable right now. So, and I'm going, no, but I need to find out where you were at 3:00 on Wednesday last week. And it's like, oh, well, I think I was there. No, but the client said.
No.
And what a lot of people don't realize is sometimes the processes are there to protect you rather than babysit you or, check up on you or make you wrong or whatever it is. Sometimes the processes are there to protect you. But are you actually doing them?
Yeah.
And people often think I need to learn more. I need to, and sometimes, no, you learn enough. You just don't implement what you've learned. So we see both sides in terms of you've got people that don't grow. And like, I know that. And then you've got other people that come to events, they come to seminars, they come to all this stuff. They're reading books all the time. And then if you ask them, okay, so what's one thing you got out of that book? And they're like, huh? And then they'll tell you, this book was amazing and I learned da-da-da-da-da. And then you go, okay, cool. So out of those things you've learned, what's one thing that you've implemented?
Yeah, tough one.
And then they go, oh, no, I read the book. No, but what is out of the book? And you said the book's amazing. So what is one thing that you're actually doing? And so it's just understanding, is it who you're being? Is it what you're doing or what you're having? That is the problem.
Interesting.
When it comes to growth.
So if I'm a business owner, I'm watching this right now, and I'm like, yeah, that's the space I'm in. I've been saying I want growth. I've been preaching I want growth for the longest time. Nothing is happening. What do I do?
The first thing is when somebody says, can I show you that?
Why would you say behaviors?
Well, who are you being? Are you being somebody that knows everything? Because somebody that knows everything.
Yeah.
So don't teach me anything because I know it.
Yeah.
Or are you going, I don't know enough. I need more information. I need
more. That, yeah.
And then, okay, so who are you being? Then what are you doing? Like, are you using some of that information? Are you avoiding using it? Are you resisting it? Are you going, no, we don't need to do that? Or you're telling everybody to implement it, but you're not implementing it. And this is where you start to look at your behaviors. Who are you being? So the behavior of everybody has to wear a jersey. That's a behavior.
Yeah.
Because it's been conditioned.
Yes.
I put on a jersey. Even the dog must have a jersey on. Everybody is cold. Everybody must have a jersey on.
Yes.
And or are you actually stopping and going, are you cold? Or are you asking the questions like, is it cold or is it just me?
Ooh, I think you bring in an interesting one there around asking questions. Like, how important is it? Because I know we speak about asking questions. Barry teaches a lot about it. You teach a lot about it. How important is it to actually ask yourself questions? Because I think that I feel like that's a piece that people miss.
So a lot of people ask themselves questions all the time in their mind. And it's generally, how come I was so stupid? Why didn't I say this? Why didn't I do that? How could I? So those questions, are they productive? Okay. Because is it getting you to where you want? So it's about asking a question that's going to get you to where you want to go. So, right. I am stuck in this chair and I'm very thirsty. Okay. Let's just say I'm stuck in the chair and I'm thirsty. Now, what do I need to do in order to get water? Okay. So, one, I can get up. Okay, but I'm stuck. I'm glued to the chair.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so now I have a problem. The water's in the kitchen, and I'm thirsty, and I'm glued to the chair. Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to start asking myself questions around how could I get water from the kitchen? What could I do to get water from the kitchen? Okay, maybe I could call and see if there's somebody else in the office.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Okay, I can ask them to go get it for me. Okay, great. So somebody brings me water. Great. I solved the problem.
Yeah.
And that's where, if I could be asking the questions, how was I so stupid to sit on super glue? And like, what was I thinking to sit on super glue? And now my jeans are glued to the chair. And that was really stupid. And how could I have done that? Like, what was I thinking? That is not going to get me to the kitchen.
No. Or your water.
Or the water.
No.
But if I'm going, okay, great, I need to unstick myself. How am I going to do that? Okay, I need a knife. Where's there a knife? Okay, well, in the kitchen. Okay, that doesn't help me. There's a standing knife in the cupboard. Maybe that'll help me. Whatever. But now I'm asking the right questions to get to where I need to go. And that's the problem in business, is people are often asking the wrong questions. They're asking questions about what they did instead of what they need to do.
Oof.
And so it's super important that you ask questions around what are your next steps and what do you need to do in order to create something else.
So you're saying, if I'm understanding, come out of the past, get into the present so that you can figure out the future.
Correct.
Starting, you stuck in the chair, or your business is slow. It is what it is right now. Where you're sitting right now it's gone. What do you need to do to go forward?
Correct.
Okay.
So it's asking the questions moving forward. So, okay, we have a problem in that people are wasting time in our business. Well, what do we need to do to fix that? Well, we flip and start implementing timesheets. No, but we can't implement timesheets because it's against the law. We employed these people, and now the Poppy Act says we can't ask them. Okay, so we can't use timesheets. Well, what else could we do? Oh, well, let's use a weekly planner.
Now I see what you do.
So now let's plan your week. Okay, and now what I want you to do is we've planned out your week. On Monday, we have a sales meeting, and on Tuesday, you do cold calls and you go out and see customers. And on Wednesday, you get on the phone and you do follow-ups. And, Friday afternoons is our training time because, we can't reach clients then. So let's fill all the things that we know that we do. Let's put them into our weekly planner. Okay, now you have lunch every day. Let's put lunch in. Okay, you have a smoke break. When do you have your smoke break? Okay. Oh, you have 6 smoke breaks in a day. Well,
that's 30 minutes.
Do you think it's fair that the company pays for you to have 6 smoke breaks, and typically a smoke break is 10 to 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder we're wasting time. Okay, well, put them in and let's see if you actually stick to that. Now you're getting people to plan, and now you can go, okay, cool. So on Wednesday, you said you were going to make 10 calls an hour. Well, what did you do? And you get them to fill in what they did, because now this weekly planner is going to help us create next week's weekly planner.
Yeah.
So you have to fill it in so that we can go from week to week to see how we can help you get better and see where people are wasting time. Because like my observation with, like, particularly in sales, is everybody wants to chirp about, what did you say? How did you say that? What did the client want? Like, how come you didn't? No, but that's my client. And so suddenly everybody's all over you because you are phoning clients and they're not, and they're all giving you a hard time because why did you phone their client? Blah, 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 blah.
You did your job.
Instead of pick up the phone and make the phone calls.
Yep.
That's all I did. I just picked up the phone and making phone calls. What's the problem?
And I think that what you just said there, like around the planner, the weekly planning, that's it. It's actually the way I view it, at least, is that's creating growth and it's growing people's capacity, right? Because now I'm aware of what I'm doing with my time, which means I can be more productive and I can get more done in the time that I have. And two, as the business owner or the manager or whoever it is, you now learning how to hold people accountable, which gives you growth, which means that, and I mean, those are things that just simply start applying to your actual life. You transfer it from your business to your life, and all of a sudden, man, I know what I'm doing with my time. I'm a lot more productive. Oh, I can now hold myself accountable because I'm holding other people accountable. Change the game a little bit.
Yeah. And so it is when you're aware of where you spend your time, now you can start to clean it up. So I'll use this example that I often run into is invoicing. Okay. Whose job is it to invoice the client? Okay. So in our process, it is the sales rep's job to invoice the client. Okay. So I'm somebody that works at the back end and I run the bookkeeping. And now there's a payment that comes in and I go, who's this from? Now I've got to find Kate. Now, Kate is not one of our clients because I don't know. The payment reference is Kate. So who is this? So now there's no invoice for that amount. So now I've got to go and I spend 30 to 40 minutes trying to find out who Kate is, what company they're from. Is this the payment? Why is there no invoice? Now an invoice needs to be done. And now I need to get the company details for Kate and her company and blah, blah, blah. And I spend suddenly it's an hour and a half on one invoice.
A lot of time gone.
Instead of like going to the sales rep and say, you haven't done all your invoices, do them. Finish. Call me when they're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's also one of the problems. If I'm not aware that it takes me an hour and a half to actually get all the information on a payment, and also, well, does the sales rep realize that it takes me an hour and a half? Because it takes them 10 minutes because they're sitting with the client. They have all the client's information. They can do it. Well, that's why it's part of the process.
Yeah.
But if I'm not actually tracking my time in a planner, so it's like you say, it's not about tracking and where were you and how did you do this, and please don't get me wrong, some companies need to do that because they're dealing with
children,
adult
children.
They're just people, but
people.
In terms of if you're a small business owner, are you actually tracking what you do with your time?
And you yourself.
And it's just something simple like an invoice. Like, how long does it take you to track down an invoice?
Yeah.
And get it on the system and link the payment to the invoice. And the challenge is because the sales reps already delivered the program, the clients paid, they're not worried about it.
Oh no, money's in the bank, game is now.
Money's in the bank.
For them, game is finished.
Finished. And that event was like a week ago.
What are you talking about?
What's the problem?
Yeah,
I've moved on.
I'm sending you a new invoice. There's new stuff coming in. Yes. You're telling me about things 2 weeks.
And that's where sales reps are in the future and the accounts team are in the past, and somewhere they've got to connect. And this is where, like, are you aware of where your time is going? And once you have that weekly planner, then you can start to shift and go, oh, sales reps aren't following the process.
Yeah.
Well, right. Now, do you guys understand why it's so important that you follow the process? Because it's an hour and a half of my time. I'm going to be invoicing you for my time. So these sales reps going, okay, I'll do the invoice.
I'll get it to it. So, what's one question a business owner should ask themselves today if they say they want to grow their business?
One question.
Yep.
Well, I guess the question would be, grow it to what? And what are they trying to grow? Because Are you trying to grow your sales? Are you trying to grow your productivity? Are you, your service level? Are you trying to grow your yourself, your mindset?
Mm-hmm.
What is the one thing you want to grow?
Mm.
And then what do you need to do in order to grow that? So if you want to grow your mindset, for example, what do you need to do?
Mm. Yeah, it's not a great question to ask yourself, I don't think, because I think just the way that you put that means I have to get clear now. I can't just say I want growth, right? I got to be super clear. And I think that's the important piece.
That is the important piece. And that's where, you know, if you take it, like, if you have a planner to plan your time, a weekly planner, that's damn hard.
It is. It is.
I don't care who you are.
No.
It's hard to do that. Why? Because I got busy today.
It's very common in businesses. I've been busy.
But and that's where it's okay. So what were you busy doing? And take 2 minutes every hour and write down what you did.
Yeah.
And once you get in the habit of doing it, you will see a significant realization of, oh, I spend too much time doing that.
Mm. Yeah. It's going to take me less to do that. Or I shouldn't have done that at all. It was actually just a distraction.
Correct. So it is. It's just what is one thing you need to do to get clarity on what you want.
Question with a question.
Yeah.
If you got value from this, ladies and gentlemen, don't just listen to it. Sit with it. Understand it. Think about it clearly. Because I think it's very easy for us to say we want stuff. I want growth. I want this. I want that. But you're not actually clear on what you want. And I think if there's anything I've learned, what ends up happening is you get none of what you want because you have zero clarity around what you want. And sometimes you end up with more stuff that you didn't want, but you never actually said that. So, for those of you who enjoyed this episode, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next week on the next episode of the Uncovering Greatness podcast. Bye-bye.
Bye.